It has become a long-running debate that young people do not engage with the news anymore. We have heard of young people as disengaged youth, troublesome, and more hysterically described by McKee as the face of political apathy. I believe the crux of this argument does not lie within the youth's supposed disengagement with news, but lies within the definition of news as a genre. Harrington defines news as the stuff that keeps citizens informed about democratic institutions and other information and events that are important to them. In this definition, he does not dictate news to be the talking heads in primetime television news which dictate the public discourse of the day, yet this has become the conventional understanding of what news is. Fisk divides television into two categories, information and entertainment. These two categories eliminate the possibility of news programs, or any program for that matter, to be both informative and entertaining. It is here then that Harrington's argument that it is not that young people are switching off the news, but rather switching over to other forms of news which are more interesting and relevant to them becomes evident. Alternative news sources have been emerging over the last decade, resulting in programs such as The Panel and The Chaser. Using The Chaser as an example, which in its peak attracted an incredible 2.24 million viewers, the program attracted its young audience with satirical humour and engaged its audience, which stimulated talk within the public of current affairs, which no other show at the time could be accountable for, positioning itself as both an entertaining and informative news program. The Chaser's success reaffirms Fisk's argument that we need to demand of television news to make the events of the world more popular. Media production and consumption habits are changing, non-surprisingly due to the expansive range of media sources available today. Perhaps it is wise then to steer away from Mindick's cry that our democracy is in big, big trouble and his consequent barrage of statistics proving unequivocally that young people are disengaging from the news, and move towards newer styles of news productions which are both informative and entertaining, and as Gray describes as brilliant parody and not only play with the news but demand constant reflection on what news actually is. Through expanding the news genre to not only the television news, but new news styles such as The Chaser and The Panel, as well as newer media news style production, as the Web 2.0 phenomena, with sites such as Twitter where the user also becomes the producer, we are creating a greater understanding and engagement of news. Despite cries that this form of news production lacks credibility, its benefits are justified when Harrington implies that it moves the political discourse into a more conversational style and acts as a check and a balance on old news. Using McNair's control to chaos theory, digital media has increased the complexity of news, making it more accessible. So rather than young people disengaging from the news, they are simply finding other, perhaps more entertaining ways of sourcing their information.